Okay, Timmy and Rusty Chapter 14. Ben used the walkie-talkie and put in a call to Chief Bond through the comm center. He got through right away. "Chief," said Ben, "we have some important information to give you on the Allens," he stated. "Do you have time to see us the afternoon?" he added. "Sure," said the chief. "Come down about 3 p.m. and we can talk," he offered. "Okay, great," said Ben. "We'll see you then," Ben concluded. The boys put their heads together as how they were going to tell the chief how they got their information on the Allens, and if it could go well, or if he could really get mad about him going out there without any backup. The boys were lucky that the two other brothers seemed to really be good guys, and not like the brothers and cousin who robbed the bank. It was clear that Bob and Jack did not think too much of their other brothers and cousin for pulling such a stupid stunt. They also felt bad about the parents' situation, living in a run-down house with only the help of one son full-time. Since the family is not farming, the boys wondered where the family could get their income. The boys had no idea about state and federal government assistance for disabled people, so how the parents were making it was kind of lost on them. That was a worry for another day. At 2:30 p.m., the boys rode their bikes down to the station to see the chief. They took their map with them to talk to the chief about the river and the farm property. They also needed to find on the map where Windsor Street was, where Jack had his gas station and car repair shop, just in case they needed to know. They wondered if maybe Bob worked there part-time so Jack could pass some money on to his brothers and his folks. He seemed like the kind of guy that would do something like that, and dressed as nice as he was might be an indication he was doing okay at the Gulf Station. They forgot to notice what kind of a car Jack was driving, as they were more interested in just getting out of there. They arrived at the station and made some small talk with Sergeant Moss at the front desk. Moss had said it had been quite a quiet day, as most days in Hastings Mills were. "This is a good thing." Moss had said that John Applegate had been in to see the chief in the AM, but did not know what it was about. The chief buzzed the front desk and had the boys come into his office. "Hi, Timmy, Ben, and Rusty," said the chief, as he gave the dog a warm welcome with his hands around Rusty's face. He pulled a milk bone out of his desk and gave it to him. Rusty went off into a corner to enjoy his treat. "Well, boys," began the captain, "what have you two been up to?" he added in a very inquisitive way. "I hope you two are staying safe," he added. "Yes, sir," said Timmy. "We're just trying to help, and we think we have some good info for you. And Lieutenant Weldy and Officer Marks," he went on. "You do?" said the chief, with much surprise. "How did you do that?" he asked. The boys were not sure how to start, and maybe have the chief get mad at them, so they sat for a minute before speaking. "Don't be mad at us," said Ben. "We were very careful," added Timmy. "Okay, boys, spill it," said the chief, "all of it." They began to tell their chief of their buying cheap fishing poles and going down to the river behind the Allen farm and try to do some surveillance. They told him about the two brothers, Bob and Jack, how nice they were to the boys, and even helped them with their fishing on their first time out. They informed the chief about Bob being the one to take the most care of their sick parents and the sad condition of the property. Probably broken farm equipment, and that Bob had kept the brothers' car in the barn, up on blocks, and changed the oil and ran it every other day to keep it operational. They told the chief they did not see it, but believed that Bob was telling the truth. They also told the chief about the other brother, Jack, who was also nice to them and ran the Gulf Station on Windsor Street, and thought that maybe Bob worked there part-time so Jack could help the family financially. The Allen boys said that they admitted that their brothers had robbed the bank and were getting out soon, and that Bob had visited them and learned they were going to head out west to Wyoming or somewhere, and said they had some money set aside, probably the bank money, that they thought they hid well enough. Then Timmy and Ben said they just played along like they knew nothing about nothing, and neither Bob or Jack were worried about Timmy or Ben. Just two young boys out fishing for the first time, they said. "Well, I'll be," said the chief. "I can't leave you two alone for a minute, can I?" stated the chief in a very serious tone. "You boys know that if you two get hurt in any way, I could be in serious trouble," he added. "I know you guys want to help, but we must be smart about this. And you do too," he added. "I hope you boys know I'm only thinking about your safety," he added. "Yes, Chief, we do," added Timmy. "We are being very careful," added Ben. "We believe that Bob and Jack are very nice and would not hurt anyone. And certainly the parents need help from someone. And the locked-up brothers don't even seem to care about their own parents and are going to leave them behind as soon as they get out of prison," said Timmy. "I think you are probably right about that, it seems," said the chief. "Quite a family, with two good boys and three evil ones," he added. "The cousin is just a following around the wrong crowd," he added. "All four are sitting in prison for a while longer. We have to find out where the rest of that money is, don't we, boys?" added the chief. "Yes, sir, we do," said Ben. "What's your next move?" "Well, let me find out what Lieutenant Weldy has found out from the school folks, and we can go from there. I will bet the other 10 grand is hidden in that old car in the barn. No reason for it to be anywhere else. And it would appear that neither Bob nor Jack know it's even there," he added. "I think we're going to have to move on this," he said. He leaned back in his big leather chair and thought quietly for a few minutes. The boys sat still as well. "I think I will get Lieutenant Weldy to go down and talk to Jack Allen at the Gulf Station on some pretense of some fake local thefts and see if he has had any break-ins lately. Something like that," he stated. "I don't want to ask him any questions about his brothers and the robbery and tip him off that we are trying to recover the last of the bank money," he said. "We will just take it real slow. We have about 7 weeks before the brothers get out of prison. Anyway," he stated. "What do you think?" he asked the boys. "Sounds good," said Timmy. "Bob and Jack said we could come back and go fishing out there any time we wanted, and they seemed like they would never hurt us," he added. "Let me think about that one," said the chief. "If I did, I would have Officer Marks very close on the hiking trails, just to make sure you have backup this time," he added. "Don't go out there again without talking to me first. Promise me that," demanded the chief. "I do appreciate all that you have done, but now we must be extra careful, as we are getting so close to cracking the whole case, aren't we, boys?" stated the chief. "Yes, sir," said Ben. "We promise," said Timmy. "Okay, that's settled," said the chief. "Now you boys head home, as you have done enough for one day, and let me call Lieutenant Weldy and see what he has found out, and get him down to the Gulf Station tomorrow." "Bye, Chief," said Timmy and Ben, and they headed out the door with Rusty to go home. They also said goodbye to Sergeant Moss at the front desk. They were so glad The chief was not mad at them, and they both agreed to tell the chief everything before they did anything else again.